Hey, welcome to my channel. My name's Panache and I'm really happy to have you here. If it is your first time, baby, welcome to the P-A-R-T-Y, cause we wanna one. Thank you so much for joining. I really hope that you find this channel encouraging, motivating, whatever you want to say. Like, I just hope you gain something. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. And if it is not your first time, honey, sir, I love you. I appreciate you. You're amazing. I love to romance my people that keep coming back, because you know why? Because they're the real ones. You know, it makes me feel like I'm doing this for a reason. So all of you that are returning, I love you. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Amazing. Appreciate you. Yes, no, let's jump straight in. So today we'll be talking about week 2 of my 31 days of prayer and fasting and how it's going. You know, just to keep you guys up to speed with everything. And I know you're not seeing this on a Thursday. Sometimes live timing, but I'm still getting it out before the end of this week. It should come out today, which is Friday. Yesterday there was a lot I had to do. I had to do like an airport run, etc. It was just a hectic day. But thus we are here. It's Friday. I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna edit it, and it's gonna be live, and y'all are gonna see it tonight. In Jesus' name. But yeah, so week two. How's week 2 going? Week 2's been good. I would definitely say that for whatever reason, week 2 has felt a lot more intense. I feel like week 1 was super easy. Like I felt like I was just ready. I think I was just in a season where I was so ready to just fast anyway. Like my body was just ready. So didn't really experience hunger, didn't really experience anything. I was just chilling and just praying and trying to go into the presence, you know, presence of God. And yes, it was blissful. It was great. Week 2, however, I've definitely found myself feeling hungry. As in like, but it's been irrational though. This is how I know, like, okay, we have to continue on this fast. Because it's like, I'll wait. There was one time it was like, I woke up hungry, and by 9 a.m. I was famished. 9 a.m. Why that's unrealistic is because even when I'm not fasting, I don't tend to eat in the AMs anyway. You know that lie we were told about breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's a lie. Our bodies, it's not even a real thing. Like, this is literally a term that was coined. I mean, this is from my reading, what I found. But it's literally a term that was coined to help with the sale of breakfast, cereals and things like that. Because basically they realized through marketing that people weren't really purchasing cereals or porridge, blah, blah, blah. So it was literally a marketing ploy. But it's not actually like a real scientific fact to say that you have to eat first thing in the morning when you wake up. No, you don't. It's actually best to kind of, it's an intermittent fast to get your body to regulate and get it to, you know, its normal state. And then sort of around 12 o'clock, that's when I personally tend to eat. But anyways, this is not a fitness, you know, it's not a fitness video today. We're definitely going to do one though, because I love talking about fitness. I love talking about clean eating. I love talking about understanding your body and health, and, you know, and not from a vanity perspective, but generally from like a health and well-being perspective. But that's something that will come later. So yeah, I don't tend to eat first thing in the morning, and I was finding myself, it's 9 a.m. and I'm famished. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I so hungry? This ain't right, this ain't normal, this ain't it. Obviously I would still affirm it and ignore it, and I would find myself literally clock watching, and I'd be watching the clock. Okay, what time is it? What time is it? It's 3:55. Okay, I'll check again now. It's 4:10. Okay, check. And it's like I'm counting down the time until 5, and I was like, no, I'm doing this wrong. Like, this is not what fasting is about, and I know this, but I kind of slipped into this state of being held captive to my flesh in a way, because my flesh is saying I'm hungry, and I'm now like, okay, flesh, we're hungry, and I'm trying to be like diligent in my fast, but at the same time my flesh is controlling me, you know. And that's where you realize, no, you need to make more time to read the word. You know, the bread of life, God is the bread of life, and he's the living waters that never run dry. And you know, when it says Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. We shall not live by bread alone. And I know I used to say this, especially when I was younger, like, yeah, man shall not live by bread alone. Da, 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 da. But genuinely, you'll find that when you engross yourself in the things of God, you won't get hungry. So it's like one thing as well I've been trying to do is really trying to do charitable acts during this season, making time for others. You know, like I really love to be able to share. I love sharing my testimony. I love sharing my journey because I know where God took me from and where he's brought me to, and, you know, by God's grace, where he's taking me to. So when I find other people that are in need of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, I like to make time to meet up with people, sit and do coffee dates, you know, meet up, and I invite people to my house, you know, especially like I love, you know, being like a soundboard or voice of reason, or like mentoring other Christian women, even Christian men, like young girls, young boys. I love to advise and speak to people about their journey, where they're at. And, you know, I believe that when God takes us through something, our testimony is not for ourselves, but it's for others. And you will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. The more that you say your testimony and what God has done in your life, the more that you overcome. But not only do you overcome, you also encourage another. So that's something I've definitely been trying to do more in this week, as I've been feeling a lot more hungry, as I've been feeling a lot more like, it's like making time for other people, making time to be like, okay, who can I speak to? Who needs, you know, who maybe needs a word of encouragement? Who needs uplifting? Who can I be there for? Making it less about me and more about others. And in this dying of self, that's something as well where through prayer and fasting, you see how through that God makes you more like him, more like Christ. You know, when we see in the Bible, we see multiple times that Jesus very rarely had time for himself. It says that you know, he felt, there's a word for it, he felt compassion towards them. It talks about all these people that they come out, you know, when it talks about Jesus and the Sermon on the Mount, you know, where he's giving all his teachings and he's speaking to them about what the Lord has said, and, you know, being a Christian and what this walk looks like. He continues to pray for people. He continues to pray for people. It gets to a point where Jesus sort of like runs away and goes up into the mountains to be alone with God. After he has been praying and healing. It says that he had been, after praying and healing people all night, he was very self-sacrificial. You know, every time, you know, we see Jesus when he was walking and he's walking through the crowds, and, you know, we see the woman with the issue of blood. And it says, you know, she says, you know, if I can only but touch the hem of his garment, then I'll be healed. And, you know, we hear how Jesus is like, who touched me? And he stops everything. He's going somewhere. He's on a journey, but he stops and he says, who touched me? And the disciples are like, Jesus, respectfully, there's like 10,000 people around you right now. And I hear talking about who touched me, who touched me. Like everybody's touching you. And Jesus is like, no, like someone touched me and I felt virtue leave me. I felt power. He felt something go because someone touched him with a reason and with a purpose, with a goal, you know. And then that's when the woman sort of like stands up and she's like, you know, apologies, it was me, da 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 da. You know, I'm sure we know the story. And if we don't, look it up. The woman with the issue of blood. It's a story about a lady who needed healing, and she had periods for 14 years, and she'd been bleeding for 14 years. And if we look at things contextually, in those times, what the law was while women were in their menstrual season, or while they were menstruating, sorry, they had to be removed and go into separate tents because they were labeled as unclean during those times. You were unclean if you were bleeding. And once your period finished, you sort of came back again into society. So why this is wild is because this woman had this issue for 14 years. That means for 14 years, she was labeled unclean. For 14 years, she had to be separated from society, which is why this woman was probably, she broke the law when she left the tent, the separation part that she was in, when she left to come and join and come into the city to see Jesus. Already she was she's moving mad, like going by law. She's already breaking the law. So already she's broken the law, and people will know this woman. Like, if you're bleeding for 14 years, you are known. So you can just imagine, like, she must have had her head covered, her face covered. She's just trying to do things discreetly. She's like, listen, 14 years. And it says as well that she had spent a lot of money going to the physicians and doctors. She had spent so much money looking for healing from people and all these other places, and exhausted all her finances and found nothing. So she said, you know what? I'm going to risk breaking the law to meet this Jesus guy. And I don't even need to talk to him, because obviously she knows that if she's to bring attention to herself, people will be like, isn't that the babe that's supposed to be out because she's been bleeding? Like, she's unclean, you know. So she's just like, let me just undercover, like, you know, just sneak in the crowd. That's why she says, if I can just but touch the hem of his garment, because she understands she's unclean. She's not worthy to come and be like, yo, Jesus, listen, this is the situation. She felt unworthy. She felt unclean. She felt improper. She felt like, I can't do this. So let me just touch his garment and I'll be healed. And because of her faith, it says that she was healed immediately. Immediately the bleeding stopped. And Jesus then acknowledges her and calls her out. And the importance of this is, like, Jesus was going somewhere and he stopped where he was going to be like, who is this person? And that's where she sort of steps forward and she was like, oh, you know, situation, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, your faith has healed you. You know, and then we hear about Jairus, and he comes and he's like, yo, my daughter, she's dead. No, sorry, not 14 years, 12 years. Let me correct myself. Because Jairus' daughter was 12. The woman with the issue of blood also had the issue for 12 years, not 14. Apologies. Jairus' daughter, she's like sick and dying, and they're like, he's like, Jesus, please. Da, 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 da. And it's like, we see constantly in Jesus's journey how he was living for other people. He was constantly living for other people, put other people's needs before himself. And that's something I have been trying to practice in this week too. It's not always easy, I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, at times I'm feeling famished. So it definitely has been a challenge. And, you know, I have maintained going to the gym during my fast. And, you know, a piece of advice for everyone that works out in your fasting or going into a seasonal fasting, take it easy. Like, for me, historically, when I would fast, I wouldn't go gym. But what would be frustrating is, like, by the end of my fast, I feel like I'm sort of back to square one again. Like, lifting, I feel weaker and and it's just long. So what I've done this time around is I'm still going to the gym, but I just lower my weights. And, you know, so when I'm squatting, I'll squat less. When I'm doing bicep curls, I'll lift less. Just making sure that I don't overexert myself. So with the weight training, I'm lowering that. And with the cardio side of things, I always end my weight workouts with cardio. I don't start with cardio, I end with cardio because my main focus is weight loss and toning. So yeah, start with the weights and then end with the cardio. And usually I do 20 minutes on the Stairmaster and level 10. Just straight, like 20 minutes straight, level 10. And I'm just powering through, and ciao. Even when I'm not fasting, it's a challenge. So I'll be very honest. I think, and it's week 2, I think I've done it like twice, maybe 3 times. The 20 minutes on Stairmaster at level 10. Because it's intense. It's a lot. Like, it takes a lot on the body. And I've basically taken it easy on myself. And I'm like, do you know what? Let me do maybe 10 minutes this time. I'll still do level 10. I'll do 10 minutes or 15 minutes if I can really push. Or I just won't touch Stairmaster. Especially on the days where I'm really feeling like, you know, the body's really feeling it. I won't even look at Stairmaster. I will do walking on incline. I don't know why you don't get the incline. I'll walk on incline. I will do spinning. So that's the other thing I did one time. There was a day where there was just so much going on. And I just went on. And guys, I used to love spinning to soca music. Soca is like carnival music. So that's also been a thing I've had to let go of, or try to let go of. And I listen to gospel soca. Been interesting, you know, I'm trying to find my vibe with it. It is still good because all it is like needing that up-tempo vibe, that up-tempo beat. And it's different because, you know what, the words are encouraging. It's not about like dancing on the road drunk, da, 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 da. You know, drunk driver, what you driving? There's all these soca songs that I know. But yes, I've had to try and find things where I'm meditating on positive things, you know, not just being drunk, but like literally music about God, and it's uplifting, and you know, and it's actually pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. What I'll do is I'll add, maybe not my soca playlist because that's still a work in progress, it's still early stages, but I will add on here my gym playlist because I used to love hip hop and I had to switch to gospel hip hop. And I know people think it's more and da, 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 but honestly, it's developed. Like, it's gospel hip hop. Before, I feel like we didn't have much. We just had maybe like Lecrae, like a couple people here and there. But now you've got Aha Gazelle, you've got Red Tip, you've got Andy Mineo, you've got, oh gosh, my mind is going blank. I'll add my playlist to the bottom in the description, my gym playlist. It's sick, like, guys, there's options to switch it up. But anyways, like, yeah, it's about taking it easy when you're going gym while fasting. It's about not pushing yourself too far because you don't want to pass out in the gym. You don't want to have headaches throughout the whole day, which is what I found when I was still doing my 20-minute Stairmaster while fasted. Some days was cool, some days was peak. So I was just like, okay, either completely cut it out or do it once in a blue moon. Yeah, week 2 has been great. It's been eye-opening. You know, it's been like, you know, fasting is like a mirror. It really shows you yourself. It shows you yourself and where you're lacking to be more like Christ. It shows you where you've got room to grow, where you've got room to develop. And yeah, I'm just excited. I am really excited. You know, it's been eye-opening, and I think it's going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a productive year. The puzzles have been going great. Can't remember if I've already mentioned, but the puzzle's been going amazing. One night I found myself staying up until like 2 a.m. I had to ask someone on FaceTime and be like, can you please tell me to come off this thing and go to bed? And the reason was because I was talking to them while I was still just like tunnel visioned into this puzzle. Guys, puzzles are sick. You know, that neural pathway, which was formed many years ago and neglected, it's like it's sparking up again, and it's like it's buzzing, it's, you know, it's igniting, and it's just amazing using different parts of your brain and reading and, you know, all this amazing stuff, like literally not having social media and not just scrolling aimlessly. It's just been great. It's been a great detox, and I'll continue to keep you guys posted on how it's going, where I'm at. I feel like I have lost a bit of weight, you know, a little bit of godly weight loss. I have lost a bit of weight when I was checking on the scales. And again, yeah, with me continuing gym, I'm making sure that I don't just lose all my gains because, child, personally, I ain't just trying to be skinny. Shout out to all the skinny people. I mean, I'm quite slender, she says. But like, I quite like being toned, you know. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. But thank you so much, guys, for joining, and thank you for listening to me talking about my journey. I'll be back to doing like videos on help and growth and advice, etc., definitely after my fast. But just this month of January, I will be just updating you guys where I'm at, how the fast is going, and yeah, we'll see what happens throughout 2024. Thank you so much. Have an amazing evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are and what time you're watching this. I love and appreciate you, and you'll see me again next week. Have a good one. Bye.